To think of My Property Poachers as trying to imitate that international acquisition show that Trump just showed us. Because, one, I feel like My Property Poachers still have to prove that they had the right to know me, okay? They haven't proven it to me. They didn't have any interest in that building. And that's another thing that Trump's showing us is, one, he has a right to know who Maduro is. He has a right to know Maduro's business. Not only does he have financial interest in the region because we helped build Venezuela's oil industry, okay, but also his allies, Russia and China, have a bunch of interest there too. So that gives him justifiable reason to even be like looking at Maduro and Venezuela. And then also the position of Maduro is probably a position that's supposed to be voted in, and whether or not he was voted in or not is irrelevant to the moment. But it's a position of an international leader. I mean, he's an international leader of a huge country. So it's just kind of like, Trump definitively has the right to be nosing into that business, because internationally and then it's like, when you think about the fact that they're going to be handling the wealth in the portfolio, you can trust that Trump was elected to his position as leader of, the United States, and we're like an even larger and like richer country, allegedly. So you can feel like, and in the international scope of what's happening, you can feel like you can know and trust that there's going to be eyes on him handling that portfolio. And it's not just him singularly absconding all the wealth and all the everything and all the assets and all the everything of Venezuela. So it's kind of interesting that you would try to relate that to what you're doing, because when you don't have any business, you didn't have any assets locked up in that. I'm not an international leader tyrant. I'm just a private woman and a lawful incumbent. See, that's the thing about Maduro. He's not even a lawful incumbent. So whether or not they're ousting a lawful incumbent, I think they're trying to make sure that there's not a void for a bunch of gangs to kill people, which, again, I don't think is going to happen in a private acquisition. So, again, just remember, it's like, you want to apply all this acquisition law to taking my building, you have to prove that there's a reason to know me in that building. You have to prove that there's a reason to suspect that building, and then you have a reason that there's a reason just to tie me to the suspicions. Okay, you have to really fucking prove to even God that you have a right to know that I exist in my private capacity, just handling my lawful business. I'm not a Maduro with 50 million people I'm terrorizing, Mr. Property Poacher.